Into the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Steel Basement, and we're about to have at it once again, man. So again, I thank you guys for tuning in. You guys who are here early, I'm going to get right over to the chat, and I'm going to give you guys an early shout out like I always do. And like it says in the description, man, if you happen to have read that, we're going to talk a little bit about the injury report. Not a long list to talk about. Of course, we'll look at some film from the Browns-Steelers game, and then just a few plays. I'm trying to minimize that a little bit. I know a lot of times, you guys prefer the film study, but because I didn't do phone calls on Sunday, for obvious reasons, I want to definitely give a chance for you guys to call in tonight. So we'll get over to the phone queue earlier tonight. We'll show some plays, and I'm going to do something a little different, man. I'm going to let you guys, ask about some plays that you want to see, and we'll try to find them on the fly. I got a few that I want to show you guys as well, but I want you guys to participate in that as well, all right? So again, welcome to Terrible Towel Tuesday, and guys, please let me know if the volume is correct, if it's okay, because I know in the last video, man, I listened back to it and the audio sounded a little funny. I think my software, I had two mics going at one time, so it was like double the mic, and it gave like a weird effect, on the voice or what have you. I think I rectified that issue. So please let me know if that is the case, all right? So let's get right into it, man. Welcome to the early viewers here. Want to say shout outs to Kegel's Bagel, Michael Garman, who's always one of the first people in the chat, Brett Fine, Sincere Washington, Steve Williams, Big Marv, User Hitstick, Joseph Dellavicia, Lanisha Hayes, hello Lanisha, Droz Hill, and Go Drip, my boy JJ Walker. And JJ, let me know, man, was that you? I think I heard you you got your email read on the Steelers Depot Terrible podcast. I believe that's you. They said JJ Walker, so I'm just going to assume it was you. So shout outs to you for that. Let's see who else is in here. Y Diggy, Laquan Lighty, Pino P, Vista Light, Steve O'Neill, Lee Sharp, Jay Waller, Steelers 33, Dragon JZ, Victory Asher, Logan Dalarenzo, and my brother Tony is in the building. What's up to Rough House Boxing? Y'all always know what we appreciate when he comes through, with the catchphrases and all. So let's say huge shout out to Rough House Boxing. And that's about it for now, man. Let's go ahead and get into the action. Let me wait really quick. And yeah. JJ Walker said it was him. So yeah, man, it's good to see that a lot of us, frequent the same scene, if you will. A good amount of us, we definitely check in on SteelersDepot.com. I always promote those guys. Huge shout out to Alex Kazor if he sees this. Alex actually watches some of my YouTube footage. I know this is on YouTube, but I'm talking about the gaming stuff. So, me and Alex talk quite a bit on Twitter, as well as Dave over there at Steelers Depot. So, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you're checking out that site. Those guys do it full time, way more in depth than I can go. As well as, they do have their podcast, the Terrible Podcast. That's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope to be able to get to that status at some point. Like I said, slow progress. But maybe one day I'll be able to do this thing full time. I love what they do there. I love what I do here. So those are two great places that you can get your Steeler info. All right? So let's get into it, man. Not a whole lot to talk about in terms of injury. Coach Tomlin had his press conference today, and if you guys haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. Tomlin has a way of throwing little nuggets out there. I'm not talking about anything specific, just talking in general about how Tomlin delivers his message. The way he answers questions. You have to really pay attention to what he says. If you listen to ex-players, there's a lot of things. I heard even Joe Hayden say this after the game. There's things that Tomlin don't say on purpose that he says behind closed doors, but if you read the tea leaves, man, you can kind of understand what Tomlin is about and the type of message that he gives to the team. But anyway, as far as the injuries, he did allude to, still no real word on Juju Smith-Schuster or James Conner, which is, definitely sad news, because again, we had a great game and, we did a good job pretty much against the Browns. And, the offense looks like it came alive a little bit, with Duck Hodges and some of the young receivers, James Washington clearly breaking out as, one of the best offensive weapons right now for the last couple weeks. But you still want to have Juju and you still want to have James Conner, man. Just think about if we are to believe that Duck Hodges is the guy that's going to ignite the offense. You would like to have all of the complementary pieces around him. So it's sad to hear, man, that those guys are still kind of, a little bit of a questionable state. And, it lets me believe that Juju's knee injury was more significant than we thought. Clearly it's not, and I would believe this, but, I'm not a doctor, but clearly it's not the concussion. Clearly it's the knee injury that he suffered along with the concussion that's keeping him out. If he's out this week, that would be 3 weeks in a row. So we got to keep an eye on that knee, man, and find out exactly what's happening with Juju. And if you listen to Tomlin, man, he basically said that, James Conner probably has a better chance at this early point of the week to participate. Of course, the whole Tomlin, his whole cliche, we'll let their participation be the guide. So we'll see if these guys practice. I would love to have these guys, man, but if not, the rest of the team is going to have to pick up, and do kind of what we did this past week against the Browns. Outside of that, man, another thing I wanted to say about Tomlin, man, let me throw this out there really quick. It was interesting, and I think I mentioned this Sunday night, but I just want to say it again. A lot of times, guys, and excuse me for doing this, guys. My mouth feels dry for whatever reason. Let me get some water. I just got back from the gym. Can you believe that? Me and my wife just walked in the door literally about 10 minutes ago. Trying to get it together here. So I might have a little bit of cotton mouth going on from being exhausted. But listen, I like to hear stories about what coaches do. And these are the things that I love about a lot of the coaches in the league, some of the better coaches, even your Bill Belichick's. And I know, it's blasphemous to talk about the Patriots here at the Steelers channel, but come on, man, you have to admire, what that guy is able to do, how he designs his defense. And yes, I know some of you guys are going to call them the cheaterits. I've heard all of that, the cheaters, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm pretty sure they've done some things that we all know about in the past to get an edge, but you still cannot take away what Bill Belichick has done in his career with Tom Brady and, the team that they have. But you hear the stories about the things that he does on defense and how he takes your number one, receiver away with his number two or the secondary defender as far as corner, and then you bracket him and then you allow your best guy to play the number two on the offense. And it has been successful. You're seeing more this year where you're seeing Gilmore following people more and they're playing man like crazy. They just do a good job with coaching, man, and scheming it up. And it's a lot of coaches like that. You got to applaud, Kyle Shanahan. You got to applaud guys like Sean McVay, when they were successful. They're having a rough year right now, but you got to applaud the type of things that they do. And even Doug Peterson in the Super Bowl year and your Sean Paytons of the world and even Andy Reid. So I say all that to say this, man. It was cool to hear Joe Hayden say that Tomlin in the second half, and I'm saying this again because I've gotten people send me a message, since Sunday's show saying, Tomlin needs to go and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know. I'll let you have that opinion. But let me tell you a little something that you don't always see. Joe Hayden said that Tomlin in the second half was almost like a high school coach out there in this regard. Drawing the plays up right on the sideline, simplifying things and telling everybody what they are supposed to do, what they need to do. And he said that his adjustments, not Keith Butler, Tomlin's adjustments was what saved the game against the Browns. So when I hear stuff like that, I have to applaud it. The same way I have to give him blame when there's a defensive call that I don't particularly like as a fan. Okay? He doesn't get all of the glory. He doesn't get all of the blame, but I don't think we talk about the coaching job that the man does from time to time, whether you hate him or love him. Okay, I'm just looking at it for what it is. This team being 7-5 after starting 0-3 with essentially your fourth string quarterback, I don't care what nobody has to say about the coach. The coach is doing a good job this year. Even if we didn't win one more game the rest of the season, I still would say that. Because every week it looks like we're patching together some type of offense. Outstanding job, man, to have this team in a position where they could potentially get to the playoffs. Again, I say potentially. It's not a sure thing, okay? For 4 games left, it is not a sure thing, folks. I'm just being real. But all right, man, let's get to some of the film And let's see what we got, man. So let me go ahead and pull it up here. Boom. There it is. Now, like I said, guys, I want you guys to also tell me yourselves what plays you prefer to see. I'm going to show a few. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I definitely want to get the phone queue open. Let me see. It looks like we do already have 2 calls in the queue, so I definitely want to get you guys, in the queue because we didn't get to it Sunday. But the first play we're going to show here, man, is the first quarter. 3rd and 5 at the Pittsburgh 15. Okay, this is 7 minutes and 46 seconds left. You guys could probably guess what play this is. Being on the 15-yard line, let me take a look at it. I want to take a look and see what actually happened here in this particular situation. All right, you see the defense there. And Kareem Hunt is left all alone. Quite a few things I don't like about this play. Actually, you know what? Before I rewind it, let's let it play from the end zone view as well. And then we'll get back to it. All right. So let's start it over. Let's start it over and show you guys what I see here. All right, one more time. Let's back it up. So it looks like the Steelers are in man coverage, guys. Right? If you look at the alignment, you don't really know exactly what this is going to be. It's almost like a 2 deep safety type of look. But at the start of the play, it turns into man coverage, right? Let's put it in slow motion. All right, we got man here. Boom, boom, boom. We got man there. We got man right here. Barron is chasing Nick Chubb. And because there's really, there's a few assignments here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But look at this formation. And I'm going to be real and say, look, this was a very, very tricky formation here. Look at this. You got Odell and Landry over here. I don't know who this is over here. I don't know their whole team. And you got Chubb and Kareem Hunt. This is a heck of a formation. So clearly it causes some confusion. So take a look. Cam Sutton is here. Barron is going to chase Nick Chubb. Right? Let's back it up here. Mike Hilton, for whatever reason, is going into the flat. But he probably should have took this guy. Because look, everybody else is being accounted for. Nelson down here, and actually, I'm sorry, that's Landry down here. So it's Odell and somebody up here. I don't know all their receivers, but that's Landry right there, number 80. Right? So you got these 2 guys here. It's pretty much a free roam here. You got about 3 guys that don't really have anybody to account for. So let's take a look. They double team here. Minka's going to stay underneath where, he could probably get back and help here, but he's helping in this area. Barron is going to Chubb. I believe this was Devin Bush. Not 100% sure. Let me see. No, that's not Bush. That's Terrell Edmonds. Bush is not on the field in this situation here. Yeah, he's not on the field. Because you got Joe Hayden, you got Mike Hilton, Cam Sutton, Terrell Edmonds, Minka Fitzpatrick, and boom, Steve Nelson. So Mark Barron is going to chase. Does a good job there. To chase down the flat. I don't know what Hilton was thinking. I don't know if he was thinking this was zone or if he was thinking he should take this guy and Barron would take the closer, target. Again, guys, this is a man alignment. So Mike Hilton should run with him. But watch what happens. Hilton gets rubbed off, but then he continues to run out here instead of playing underneath, leaves a huge void, and that's where the touchdown happens. And of course, we should have made this tackle. You should have made that tackle. And there you have it. And look at Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton is trying to figure out what happened. So it makes me believe that maybe somebody blew a coverage. See him? I don't know. But to me, it looks pretty straightforward here, unless these two guys were supposed to switch off. See what I'm saying? Unless Hilton was thinking that somebody else was taking this underneath route. Because you do have, look, there's two guys here. So, looks like a blown coverage, or it looks like just a great play design, in my opinion. Bada boom, bada bing. Right? So that's their touchdown. So let's take a look at a couple other things here. Let's look at some Duck Hodges. I want to take a look at one of his incompletions here. 3rd and 9 from the Cleveland 21. Let's see what happened here. All right, looks like a breakdown in pressure. Put it in slow motion here. Yep. Free rusher off the edge. And look at this. It only ends up being, this was a good blitz scheme. It only ends up being 3 guys on the line of scrimmage that's coming. So it freed up this blitzer. And Duck, remember what I told y'all on Sunday. And it's funny how I'm actually picking plays that I already talked about, and I'm not planning to do this. This happened on the fly. Look, this is what I was talking about when I said Duck Hodges wasn't perfect. Okay? He was not perfect in the first half. Look at this. Step up. Step up in the pocket. You got your help right here. Remember when I said he drifted into pressure a few times? Like 3 times he did that. But this one was major. Look at this. Step up. Bam. If you step up into this, you got a lane to run, perhaps. Or you can set your feet and fire. See what I'm saying? You can set your feet and maybe, pass. Maybe not, though, because if you see, look at the routes they're running. Those are double moves on both sides. Look at this. Look here. Look at Washington. Out and up. As well as Deontay Johnson. Double move. You got Tevin Jones sitting right here in the middle. So there really is nowhere to throw it. But if he steps up into pressure, folks, if he trusts the protection, look at this. He has a lane to at least run the football. Step up and take off. You got a lane right there. So Devlin Hodges, man, even though we gave him a lot of credit, let's look at it again. I'll let you guys look at it. We gave him a lot of credit for having pocket patience and pocket presence. In this particular instance, he was a little antsy. And again, it happened more than once in this game. It happened more than once. Didn't trust the protection. And this turned into an incompletion, and the Steelers had to play. Let's look at it from the other angle. Now you can really see it. You can get a good look at it right here. Check it out. Got to give Benny Snell credit. Benny Snell credit here for recognizing it, man. You see this? Benny Snell scanning the field, recognizes it. Boom. Look at this, man. Look at this. Just imagine if he would have seen that and stepped up. Duck Hodges may have an opportunity to run there for the first down. We've seen him take off and run before, right? Just saying. Gotta trust the pocket, young Devlin. Let's take a look at here, man. 3rd and I don't want to look at that. We know the defense played well. Let's continue to look at some offensive plays here. 2nd and 4 on the Pittsburgh 37. 1 minute and 22 seconds left in the half. This was a huge play, man. Got to give the boys some credit there. That's Deion Kane, in case you guys are wondering. Let's look at this again in slow motion. Great job by Kane, man. This is the type of things I like, man. Effort plays. Effort. And look at Devlin. Quick read. You know, we always talk about Mason Rudolph being indecisive, right? Now, yeah, some people could probably judge him, and some people could probably say, oh, well, if he hangs in the pocket a little longer, he might have him on the curl. But I don't think he's running the curl, first of all. Second of all, you want your quarterback to be decisive. Mason Rudolph is not. Look at this. Look how fast Duck gets it out of there. He knows exactly where we need to go for the first down. Makes a decision. Boom. Gets the ball out there. It's a little short. But he allows Deion Kane to make a play. And look at Kane getting big out there. Get off me. Get off me, bruh. I'm getting the first down. I'm getting to the sticks. Love it. Love it. Let's look at it from this angle. We can really see him fight for it. Boom. Fight for the yardage, man. Look at that. Dipped his shoulder inside, got his leverage, and literally carried this dude to the first down marker and stretched out for it. You can be on my team any day when you're doing that. Love it. All right, let's see what else we want to look at here. Got to take a look at this one here. This is outstanding. This is outstanding. First and 10 from the Cleveland 30. And y'all already know what it is. Regular speed first. Outstanding catch by James Washington. Now let's take a closer look. Duck let it rip, man. And I ain't gonna lie. When I saw this ball leave his hand, I was a little afraid because that ball was floating. Take a look at it in slow motion. And of course, from the TV view, we couldn't see where it was going. That's why I said I was a little concerned. But James Washington beats his man off the line, gets past his guy. And Devlin Hodges holds the safety long enough. And look at the ball placement. You know how I'm always talking about try to throw it as far to the outside as you can. Now, he didn't throw it to the sideline, but he still didn't lead him down the middle. Remember with Mason Rudolph, we would see him lead inside a lot. Throws it to the outside. Washington has a step. Hodges holds the safety long enough to where he can't necessarily get over there. He almost got there. And then James Washington just makes an incredible acrobatic catch with the pass interference. Beautiful stuff. Now let's take a look at Devlin in the pocket here. Now watch his head. You know, focus on where he's looking at. Middle of the field. Looking to the left right now. Comes back to the middle. Then identifies Washington and lets it rip. Now, you know, if I give a little bit of critiqueness here, if I critique him a little bit, you do want to want to hold the safety a little bit longer, like maybe a split second longer. Split second. Like, bam, now you can look at Washington, which he did. And I got to critique him on the ball placement as well. Because when you look at it from this angle, it could have been a little more this way. If he throws it a little more outside, James Washington probably has an easy touchdown. So I do got to critique him a little bit. I give him credit for not throwing it in the middle of the field. But you do got to throw this thing on the outside a little more. Because look, James has him. He got him. Throw this thing back in here. That's an easy pitch and catch. But look at James Washington, man. Fights back for the ball. Through the pass interference. Follows the ball all the way to this guy's chest. Pulls it away. And it is 6 of them things for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's move on, man. We're going to look at another pass here. See if I can find it. And I'll show just a few more guys, and then we'll get out of here. Get to the callers. Another play where Deion Kane showed up for us. Now, that, to me, let's look at it a second time. That was great placement. Let's look at it in slow motion. And let's watch Deion Kane, man. Let's see how he works off of the line and everything. Beautiful ball placement there. Throwing it to the outside shoulder. Throwing it to the pylon. To the back of the end zone. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That was good defense by Ward. But, you know, he did have a little bit of grabbiness. Had his arms around Kane. Let's see if they'll show most of it. Yeah, there we go. You can see it there. You know, he's hand fighting Kane. He never turns around. That's going to be a PI any day. Right? That's going to be PI, man. And if he would have whipped his head back around, he's in good position. But again, I like the route. You know, I like the way that Kane was able to get off the line. And I like the fact that he was able to draw that PI. And there you have it. I'll take it. All right, so let's find another one to show you guys. Where's that other deep shot? There was another deep shot with Hodges that I'm looking for. Oh, it's in the second quarter. Let me find it. This was an outstanding throw. Let me find it. Hold on, guys. I think there was two big throws. Yes, there were two big throws in the second. Two more big throws in the second quarter. Where is it? Where is it? I'm looking for that one to Washington. Here we go. I think it was this one. And then there was another big throw to Washington in the fourth quarter. But look at this ball placement here. Woo! Bruh. Duck. My goodness. Let's look at it again, folks. And again, quick and decisive. He knew what he wanted right here. It was a free play. Still holding the safety. Look. Looking over here and boom. Then he comes back. Good job. Lets it rip. And that catch by James Washington was out of this world. You hear me? Out of this world. Look at this. Now, if I got to critique it a little bit, of course you got to critique it a little bit. I like to see James Washington drag that other foot because it barely got in. But, we can't blame him. That was an over-the-shoulder catch on the sideline. But more importantly, man, look at the ball placement and recognizing that this was a free play. The old Ben Roethlisberger, right? Ben was known for this. Let it rip. And look at this ball placement, man. Can't ask for better than this. Look at this, man. Look at where that ball ends up. My goodness. Let's go, Duck. Let's go, Duck. All right, let me find the other one to Tevin Jones. That was a big catch also. I think that was later in the quarter. That was near the end of the half. This one right here. This was a big-time catch by Tevin Jones, man. But let me show you how risky Duck is. But, hey, like Tomlin said in the press conference, sometimes you got to be aggressive. Woo! Look at that. Again, the boy is decisive, man, because, look, watch the corner. He may have been able to get James Washington here. Look at this. If you pause it, you can't critique everything, but look, ball's still in his hand. He may have been able to hit Washington because the corner is already turning inside to come get him. So these routes really put stress on the defense here on that side of the ball. Look. So imagine if he would have threw it to James Washington. This guy's not going to be able to turn around fast enough to get the ball. And look where Washington ends up. But you can't be mad at the decision because what Duck is looking at Duck is looking at this right here. He has a little space right here, right up the seam. And this again, this is the difference right here. Whether you hate or love either guy, these are the things that Duck Hodges will give you more so than Mason Rudolph has given us the last several weeks. Take a chance. Mason Rudolph is going here. Almost guarantee that. He's going here to Vance. Duck Hodges is reading the progression. He understands the play call. Look at it from the beginning. He's reading the progression. Look, you can tell. I'm going to show it to you from the end zone angle. Sees Tevin Jones, then threw that ball in there, took a risk. And Jones went up and got that thing. Even with contact. Hats off to Tevin Jones. Beautiful. Big time catch. Then look at it from here. Let's look at Duck. Let's look at how Duck how he scans the field. He's reading his progressions. He know where James at. He know where Vance is at. And look, watch his head, guys. This is what I want you to pay attention to. You can tell that he's looking, and then once he sees exactly what progression pops open, look, slight turn, boom, back to the right, bam, throw it in the seam. Got my man. And he look at that chance he took. Y'all want to see that again? One more time. This is why I tell y'all, Duck gonna throw a pick or two. It's gonna happen, guys. Trust me. Because he lets it rip. He's not afraid. But when it's a risk-reward situation. But when the reward pays off, it pays off. Big time catch by Tevin Jones to hold on to that ball. Gotta applaud Tevin Jones in that situation. But all right, man, that's about it. The last thing I'm going to show by request, and I'll check in the chat in a few minutes and see if there's a play or two that you guys want me to show, if you can remember when it was, so it's easy for me to find. But I know my man Luis D sent me a message, and he was like, hey, let's take a look at that play when Joe Hayden was able to get the interception. And he wants to know whether or not Minkah Fitzpatrick was, partly the reason why Baker Mayfield threw the ball where he threw it. And let's take a look. Yeah, as you can see, Joe got that thing. And I think Luis has a point. If you look at where Minkah is, this might have been the reason why Baker shied away and threw it inaccurate. Minkah's right here. And watch Minkah this whole time. It's right here. Minkah is sitting right under that. But Baker knows he just can't throw it right in this direction because Minkah, it's probably a good bet he gonna get that thing. And if Minkah get that thing, Minkah might be to the house. Ain't none of these dudes gonna catch him on the run. He might be able to get down the sideline. But look at this. And this is, again, gotta give Keith Butler some credit here, guys. Look at this defense. You got Minkah down here. Steven Nelson. This is either Edmonds or Cam Sutton. I can't tell who that is. That's Joe Hayden, obviously. Barron and Hilton. So one of these guys is Sutton, and one of these guys is Terrell Edmonds. But that's a nice little disguise, man. A little tricky defense there. Look at what happens here. Trail technique. You're just going to, not trail because he's behind him, but you're just going to drift back. Steve Nelson is going to drift back and, don't give up the outside. Protect the sidelines. And I believe, let me see if I can see the number. Yeah, that's Cam Sutton right here. So they got Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton is playing your deep safety in this situation. He's playing the deep third of the field, along with Terrell Edmonds over here. But Cam Sutton is pretty much your center fielder in this situation. We always talk about situational defense. This was a nice call right here on, 2nd and 5 with 1 minute and 17 seconds left, knowing that Baker Mayfield and those guys want to go deep. Good call, Keith Butler. If you look at it from this angle, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it, you know, as much as we want. But pay attention, and Minka is right there. All right? Let's see how much of it we can see. So, you know, the screen cuts off a little bit there. But Minka is playing underneath. Get a little bit of pressure coming. Look at that. Look at Javon Hargrave. Hargrave was almost there. Bud was almost there. TJ was almost there. Let's back that up really quick. Then we'll look at Minka. But look at the pressure. Look at Hargrave. Collapsing that pocket. Throws it wide. And let me go back now so y'all can see Minka once again. And Minka's pretty much in his line of sight, man. Got to throw it behind him, because if not, Minka going to get that thing. But Joe Hayden got that thing instead. So, all right, man, let me check with you guys really quick before we jump into the calls, man. Are there any plays that you guys might want to see? And shout-outs, round of applause, man, to 410 Carpenter Legend for the donation. Appreciate that, man. And I just realized, guys, the audio, did it sound funny? And does it sound better right now? I just realized the same situation was happening when I flipped to this screen where it has two microphones playing. So y'all let me know. Let's see. Gold Drip says he has a play and he's on the phone. All right, so let's get to the phone and we'll get to the play. All right, so let's bounce back to the main screen.
2-minute warning.
Let's grab these calls. 443, I believe, is Gold Drip. So let me get Drip on here. And you guys know the routine, man, with the phone calls. Keep them short if you can. Don't make me have to mute you. Area code 443, what you got for us?
What's up, Sim? I just wanted to say, to look at the Browns tight end, that was a touchdown and he dropped it. I think that's a touchdown if it's not for Edmonds. If Edmonds, no, he's not the best. He's like, I think the best way to describe him is very average. But I think if he doesn't hit the big tight end on that play, I think he comes down with it, because that hit that he did at the end made the tight end come down a little faster than I think he thought he would.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I remember, I don't know if you're looking at the screen now, but it was when they was going this direction on the field. So it had to be either, was it the fourth quarter?
It had, yeah, because I believe they were down 7, or they were down 10, and they settled for a field goal, which made it 13-20.
Oh, here you go. I think it might be this one. 2nd and 10 from our 14. There it is. All right, there it is.
Yep.
All right, man. So there, I'm gonna definitely show this real quick. You got anything else really quick before you go?
Just a Tomlin defense really quick. You know, people love to want to fire Tomlin, but he's 7-5 with basically a practice squad. I looked back, I watched the Buccaneers preseason game, and we had Tevin Jones, Duck Hodges, and Benny Snell taking snaps. So that was we'd had success with the preseason team. I just want people to know that before they want to fire Tomlin and hire some bum off the street to coach our team.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate your call, Gold Drip. And you're definitely right, man. We got to give Tomlin a little bit of credit. And what I'm going to do, guys, is bounce back to the All-22. And I think I just found it here. So this is the play that Gold Drip is talking about, guys. This was to Harris. And it was a drop. But let's take a look at it. And then we'll get into the other callers. So let's see what's going on here. Who's that? Is that Bush? Is that Bush? That is Bush. Bush, you got to carry that up the seam a little better, baby. Look at this. Watch Bush, guys. Bush got to be quicker to recognize that. Now, I'm not criticizing him, man, but what has to happen in this situation, let's look at it from this angle again. Because this appears to be, let's see, let me look at this. This is man. This is man. This is either straight up cover 2 man, because you got your 2 deep safeties, or this is a cover 4 with match principles, because they could look the same. But I believe this is cover 2 because of the alignment of Joe Hayden here and Steve Nelson. It doesn't look like a traditional cover 2, because if so, the corners would play underneath. And keep in mind, guys, a lot of coverages and things change when you get down in the goal line. There's a lot of special checks and all of that. But this looks like man, because Barron immediately runs with the running back. And then, even if you do your count here, the running back is the number 3. And typically Barron would take him. You should take him vertical if he goes vertical. Safety over the top. Mike Hilton is playing man. Right? He's not backing up into a zone. He takes him. So either way you look at this, man, Devin Bush, you got to get over to your man a little faster than that, buddy. And again, listen, you got to give this guy credit too. He's a big target, got a little speed on him. It happens. I'm not expecting Devin Bush to make every play, but yeah, this is on Bush. I would like to see Edmonds though recognize this a little faster. If Edmonds is your safety net back here, you got over the top. I would like to see Edmonds recognize the threat a little faster. However, let's give Edmonds a little bit of credit. You have to account for whoever's going to be your closest threat. I mean, this is Jarvis Landry, so I can understand him probably playing him a little tighter than the tight end. But, listen, you can't defense everything. Something's going to pop loose. Had he not dropped that ball, man, that was a touchdown. Let's look at it again really quick, and then we'll get to the calls. And Terrell Edmonds made that play. Had he not hit him, that's probably a touchdown. Big play by Terrell Edmonds. He's not the flashy safety, but, Edmonds is making enough little plays here and there, little PBUs that's helping us out. So I appreciate his efforts. Good call, man. Appreciate that.
2-minute warning.
All right, let's get to the next one, guys. Area code 803. What you got for us?
Good evening. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good, brother.
Oh, good. I'm glad you gave me tonight. One thing I was wondering about when we were on offense, because they run more offensive. You think we should run more offensive things featuring both Samuels and Snell, because Samuel seems to be a good catch out the backfield, and he catches the late blitzes coming along, and that way our team won't say, well, Benny Snell's in the game, and they'll just sit there and run straight. They are in a running offense. And secondly, when will you think, well, Cam Sutton will eventually succeed Mike Hilton? Because it just seems to be a little bit more versatile, even though he's a versatile cornerback. Thank you.
Yeah, man, appreciate the call. Very, very, very good questions there. I would like to see that. It would be cool to see, a combination of Snell and Samuels in the meantime when Connor is out, or even a combination of Connor and Samuels or Connor and Snell. But including Samuels, is intriguing because, again, we just saw what Cleveland did on their touchdown to Hunt, right? You had Chubb and you had Kareem Hunt. We all know, and we should know from the Kansas City days, Kareem Hunt is a back that can catch the ball out of the backfield and make some things happen. Jalen Samuels, to me, that's his biggest asset in terms of our offense. I still don't really prefer Jalen Samuels, in between the tackles and things like that, but I like Jalen Samuels out of the backfield, and hey, I seem to like him in the Wildcat. He's done a good job every time he's run it. But yes, imagine us having a lineup, maybe, Randy Fietner, if you're listening, borrow, a page out of Cleveland's book. I love to see that formation. Juju down at the bottom, Deontay Johnson on the inside, James Washington on the outside, on the other outside, and you got Benny Snell or Connor, and then you got Jalen Samuels. That exact formation, hey, that exact play if you have to. I'd love to see that. So great point there. And yeah, I think Cam Sutton, man, I don't know if he's going to replace Hilton unless we don't bring Hilton back. I think Hilton has done enough, in my opinion, now. He's shown up here in the second half of the season. He's done just enough to earn a contract. I don't know how much he's worth, but I like the combination. I like the combination of what they're doing, where they're bringing Sutton in more for coverage. He's more of the nickel guy when we go in dime. Sometimes Hilton's off the field. I like that. And I think maybe Sutton will end up being the guy eventually that might replace Joe Hayden down the road. So we'll see. But yeah, appreciate the call. Next call, man. And again, guys, keep it short for us. Area code 330. What you got for us tonight? 330.
Hey, what's up, Sam?
What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Sam? Not much, man. I just want to make this comment. I believe that, the only reason we began opening up the playbook with deep passes is because Bickner saw that results of that free play where the Cleveland defender went offside and we hit Washington for that circus catch down the sideline. And another thing too, I believe that when Duck Hodges ran up the middle for that QB scramble, that's when they began opening up QB run plays. I mean, I was looking at the game, and it was all obvious. The offense coordinator can't create plays and say, yeah, let's run this. We see this happening now. Let's run this or run that. He got to have that plan prior to the game. He got to know the abilities of the quarterback prior to the game, not wait and see the results of what he's doing in the game, so to speak. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree with that. I appreciate the call. I think that definitely has something to do with it. Also, we think about situational football. We talk about it a lot. And at that moment, even Tomlin alluded to it in his conference today. You got to be aggressive right there. 2-minute offense. See if you can get some points on the board. But like you said, a little bit earlier in the drive too. Yeah, that shot to James Washington. That may have opened up the eyes of the offense and the coaches and say, okay, let's take a few more shots. So. Yeah, man, and like you said, sometimes, man, you definitely come in with a game plan. A lot of things don't always happen on the fly. I'm pretty sure on the offensive standpoint, you got a library of plays. I guess I would say that you bring into that game, and if these don't work, you might pull one out of your butt. But yeah, I just think, man, what they need to do is pretty much just try to tailor this offense now to what you have in Duck Hodges. You have to do that. We can't keep coming up with different things every week. Find out what you got in Duck. I think Duck has shown us what he can and can't do for the most part in the games that we've seen him play, and build the plan around him. That's the way I would go with it. A few more calls, guys. Area code 559. What you got for us tonight?
A couple things I would say. As defense is solid, like I said before, but we need a fullback. And Marinovich, number 44 is Marinovich. He's a special teams player. we could train him to be a fullback to get our running game going, because I think Snell and Sanders need to touch the ball at least 30 times, split that 30 times, 15 and 15, to keep our offense like that Frisco, that hard run game. That's what we need for Hodges. We can't just let Hodges sit back there and just throw. And another thing, I know Edmonds, the safety, he's on that rookie contract. I wonder how Sean Davis would be back there playing with Fitz. I think he'll be pretty nice because he's a good tackler and he covered better than Edmonds. Edmonds struggled a little bit in the coverage, but he tackled well. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, man, appreciate the call, man. And you made some good points there. Well, as far as the fullback, I mean, we all know who the fullback was Rosie Nix before he had to go down. I don't know if I don't think the Steelers make a radical change like that at this point, where they bring, Metakevich, Dirty Red to be the fullback or anybody else. I think the best you might get is you might see Kenyon, you crazy. I think the best you might see is when they say number 72 is eligible, maybe you'll see Banner and fullback. I just don't think you're going to see anything like Metakevich or think about it. We brought Sutton Smith back on the practice squad who got fullback reps in training camp. We didn't use him either. So, I don't think that's going to happen. And then, in terms of the second point, I don't know if I can agree about that Sean Davis thing. And here's the reason why. We all know Sean Davis was moved to free safety, right? And did fairly decent at free safety. Probably had his best year while playing free safety with the Steelers. Not so much as strong safety. Minkah Fitzpatrick is your free safety, which means Sean Davis would have to play strong safety again. And again, if we look at his resume, not his strong suit. So I don't know if I can agree with that. It's no right or wrong answer, but I think Edmonds has been serviceable. I don't think there's many plays that we can look at and say Edmonds gave it up. Maybe a few here and there, but Edmonds has done a decent job this year, man. He's gotten some pass breakups. So I don't know if I can agree with that. The only way that maybe we're talking about a combination is if you put Sean Davis back at free and then move Minkah to strong, but I don't want that. I want Minkah exactly where he is. Do not change that dude's position. The dude wanted to be traded out of Miami because he wanted to be a full-time safety, and let's keep him exactly where he's at because obviously that's where he needs to be. All right, 2 more calls, guys. Let's keep them quick. Area code 814. You are live. What you got for us?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Oh, I'm doing good. It's Kegels Bagels. Do you think that we need to use the Wildcat a little bit more? I mean, I didn't particularly... I wasn't a fan of it against the Ravens. But also, do you think that we need to use the tight ends a little bit more? And then, on a third note, as an alternative to all the film of the Steelers game that you show on this event, do you think it'd be possible to show the other team that we're going to play this week a couple of plays out of their last game just to see strengths and weaknesses and things of that nature? Thanks, man. Steeler Nation, let's go.
Man, definitely appreciate your call, and I'll try to hit those points really quick. I'll tackle the tight end point and the film point. Definitely. Definitely. I mean, well, I'll talk about the Wildcat too, but the tight ends, I mean, it's easy to say no because we're seeing what Duck is doing with the receivers, but nah, man, we got to get the tight ends involved. If we can get, and he threw a pass to Vinette. Vinette picked up a nice first down for us. That was a key first down. But if we can keep that, we can keep the tight ends, or let's say get the tight ends involved, that's going to open things up even more. You know what I'm saying? And probably now that the opposing teams see that Duck will air it out, they're probably going to play more receivers and leave guys open. We saw it on the film. When I said, oh, he could have went to Vance right there, but he took a shot down the field. So, yes, let's get Vance and Nick Vannett going so we can open up more things. And there you have it. And then we can even run out of those formations, get 2 tight ends on the field. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree with that. Wildcat, I don't mind using the Wildcat the way we did it against Cleveland in spurts. Fine with that. I don't want to see it as much as we saw it against Cincinnati because come on, it's a gimmick. Eventually, a team can plan around that. But using it in the spots, yes. Jalen Samuels, has done a good job with it. As far as the film for the other team, I'll be honest with you, I can't guarantee it. Maybe when I do the pregame shows, when I'm able to actually do the pregame show, maybe. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't necessarily have as much time to, put time into watching film from other teams. And maybe, we'll see. Maybe I can look and try to find some of the key plays and see where they were strong. But I just can't guarantee it. But we'll try. But all right, last but not least, guys, we got area code 931, and I believe that is Roughhouse Boxing. So we'll take his call, and then we'll get out of here. Area code 931, what you got for us, man?
Man, what it do, Sim? We are back. You know what I'm saying? Let's go Steeler Nation, man. I am that boy Roughhouse from Roughhouse Boxing TV, man. What's going on with you tonight?
Nothing much, man. Can't believe we at 7-5. I know that much.
You know what you say? Dirty money spent too already. That's what's up. Hey, man, I'm finna bust my clip Tommy Gun style, man. We're gonna run down these points real quick, man. So here we go. Hey, first point, man. Like you said, you read my mind. Duck has to do a better job of climbing the pocket. There would have been so many more plays open to him. You know what I'm saying? If he would have stepped up, whether it was passing or running with the ball, man. So he's got to do a better job of that. And I also noticed, man, that for some reason the O-line keeps a better pocket for Duck than they did with Mason Rudolph. Like I said, I don't know why, but it's just something that I noticed, man. The pocket seems stronger and it lasts longer than it did for Mason Rudolph, man. Also, I should have said this first, but I love the way the boys kept their composure in the game and they didn't make this some kind of head hunting, go out and get revenge type game, man, which is a tribute to the good coaching by Mike Tomlin keeping those boys focused, man. And one of the main points, man, the refs calls are so inconsistent, play to play and from game to game.
Man.
And I'm primarily speaking about that roughing the passer call on Bud.
Wow.
He hit Baker Mayfield in the shoulder pads. Now, granted, his head may have snapped back, but that's only natural from a hit from the back. And if his helmet touched Baker Mayfield's helmet or vice versa, however you want to say it, you know what I'm saying? That's a natural progression of force and contact, man. But you'll see that same play, get a pass on every other play, different games, regardless of what games you watch on TV, man. So the refs calls have been just mad inconsistent, man, this year, man. And my last point, man, is that boy Tomlin is starting to get Coach of the Year recognition by the national media. They're starting to talk that. So for all of y'all that were out there hating on Mike Tomlin, you know what I'm saying, you got disgruntled, you want to see him, canned and talking about he was on the hot seat, man. Look at us now. How you like us now? We 7-5. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in the point where we controlling our own destiny, man. And for all of these people out there that been hating on our Pittsburgh Steelers, man, may our name forever taste like cow patties and rusty stick pins in your mouth every time you speak our name. That's what right. It is, man. Hey, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the homie Sim, man. If you're not subscribed to Sim, you're slipping on your pimping. Slap yourself with 2 handfuls of baby powder. That's what it is, man. Tap that bell icon so you get the good notifications when he putting out the work, like the good film study he put on tonight, man. And y'all already know what it is. I am that boy Box. This is Rough House Boxing TV. And y'all make sure y'all stop by the house. Just remember to wipe your feet, close the door behind you. And I'm out. Gee.
Man, we love when Rough House comes through, man. A lot of great points there, man, and I'll be brief in answering them. And if any of you guys can remind me around what time that play was, we can look at that play with Bud Dupree really quick, if you guys can remember that. But yes, Duck has to climb the pocket, man. And, you know, we both said it. There were times definitely in the first quarter where he kind of drifted into a sack. Speaking of which, the offensive line. It's funny that we're saying it about Duck. He did get it together later. But I think the reason why the offensive line in the pocket is better for him is because he does sometimes step in the pocket and he stays in the pocket and trusts the protection. Whereas Mason Rudolph, we saw he was jittery immediately. You know, he's always running and trying to escape. You know, and there you have it. And then so naturally it makes it look like a better pocket. The boys definitely kept their composure. You know, unlike Freddie Kitchens wearing that old Pittsburgh started a t-shirt. He know better than that, man. Come on. You know you can't do that. You know the national media is going to get a hold of that. But anyway, we did a great job doing what we had to do. And yeah, so let me go over to the chat really quick. And if you guys can remember around what time that play was, let me see. Does anybody know? Somebody said late fourth quarter. All right, let me take a look. Let me go to the fourth. See if I can find it. And how about Bud Dupree, man, on you know, the fumble that he caused on Baker Mayfield? That was a great play as well by Bud. And Bud has earned his name back for me. You know, it's official. He is Bud Dupree for me right now. Let's see if I can find that penalty, guys. I'm looking. I think y'all are right. Yep, it's right here. It was late in the fourth. Here it is. Let's pay attention to this, man. Look at how. Come on, man. What are you supposed to do? Roughing the passer? What are you supposed to do in that situation? Let's look at it from this angle. Watch when the ball leaves. Look how fast Bud got around that corner. My goodness. Look at this. How's that roughing the passer? How? How on earth is that roughing the passer? Look at this. Bam. That's not even a second. A millisecond. Oh, my bad, guys. Y'all can't even see it. Hold on. There we go. My bad, guys. My bad. I forget, man. Again, I'm not professional yet. I'm getting there. But here it is. I'm sitting here watching it, and y'all couldn't watch it, so I'll show it to you guys again. But look at this. Look at this, man. Watch how fast Bud Dupree gets around the corner. I mean, that is a tight end, but still. They should have known better than that. Look at that, man. How is that roughing? One more time. How is that roughing? Unnecessary roughness. Man, get out of here with that. But anyway, guys, it didn't cost us the game, man, so I ain't going to trip too much about it.
2-minute warning.
So there you have it. But anyway, guys, let's get back into the action here, man. I'll read a few comments, and then we're going to get up out here. See what y'all got. Maurice said, come on, Sim. I told y'all, man. Listen, man. I'm getting better, though. Y'all got to admit that. I'm getting better with it. Steve O'Neill says, is that as bad a call on Adaney or whoever you spell it against Lamar? Yeah, I think so. Very similar. I remember that play. Lanisha Hayes says bad call. Wade Johnson says body weight. But what you supposed to do in that situation? What was Bud supposed to do? You know, they did kind of slow down with those calls later in the year, but because it was really bad early in the year. But come on, man, that's terrible. Debbie, hey Debbie. Debbie says Vista Light took the words right from my mouth. The phantom false start on Duck. Oh man. Vista Light and Debbie, yes, that there was crazy. There was no flinch or anything. So unless they're saying that he did something with his cadence, which to my knowledge you're allowed to do, I don't know what that false start was. They was completely crazy about that. Deal with it. Like that name, brother. Deal with it says he was supposed to stop mid-run in a split second. Right, man. What is he supposed to do there? I don't understand it. Yeah, Leonard. And me and Leonard both looked at each other like, what? And me and Leonard looked at each other with the false start as well on duck. It was like, what are they calling out here? The refs was acting really crazy out there. Michael Garman says, you going to that Buffalo Steelers game? I want to. I really want to go to that, man. I'm going to check with my brother Floyd and see what he might want to do. It's a little difficult, though, man, because they moved it to Sunday night. So, can't promise anything. You know, that's going to cause us to stay over. You know what I mean? So, that's a little different, you know, with both of us having families and all of that. But had it still been at 1 o'clock, I'm pretty sure I would have tried to go to that one. But, you know, anything's possible. We'll see. I just hope Ben don't come back and play one game. His elbow cause him to retire or make him look like the Broncos paint man. No, Ben is not going to come back and play one game. I don't know if you're referring to this year. He's definitely not going to play this year. You know, he's out for the season. What else was I about to say, guys? I was about to say something and I forgot that quick. It has something to do with the... Oh! So I guess I should talk a little bit about the Cardinals. I got a few minutes here. I'm over my time, but I'll just be really brief. I'll save the bulk of it, guys, until we get, you know, to the pregame show. I'm going to New York on Saturday, but it's going to be a day trip. So I'll try. Friday's always tough for me, guys, because y'all know that's my commute day to D.C. one day a week. I'll try to do a pregame show Friday night. I just can't promise that. If not, it'll probably be Sunday during the day since our game is later. And it'll give me a little time to, you know, try to look at a few things from the Cardinals. But really quick, I can say this. We're going to have to be careful with Kyler Murray, excuse me. Going to have to be careful with him. He is a running quarterback. He looks to run first. You know, he's not Baker Mayfield where he's always looking downfield. He can do that as well, but he will take off and run on you. We're going to have to be disciplined there. Okay, Kenyon Drake, early on in the season when he first got to Arizona, he looked good. But, you know, we'll see what we can do there. So it's going to be very important for us to definitely stop the run. Obviously, I mean, you can say that each and every week. But the Cardinals don't really scare me on offense, man. You know, they got the old savvy veteran and the Larry Fitzgerald. I'm not really sure who else they got. They did draft, what's the kid's name, man? The big kid that Kenyon and I liked. Y'all know who I'm talking about, Hakeem Butler. But I don't remember what his status is. I think, didn't he get hurt earlier in the season? Not 100% sure, but they don't really scare me on offense. I'm not going to pay attention to their record either. You know, I just found out today, I didn't realize it. They said Chandler Jones is leading sacks in the NFL. So we're going to have to be careful there. You know, and old, you know, savvy Suggs on this other side as well. So, all in all, I would just say, man, we got to go in there with the same intensity. We need to attack early. They still got Patrick Peterson. You know, Budda Baker's out there. So, it's not like these guys are scrubs. Their record just doesn't, you know, indicate their talent. They are who they are. You know, like Bill Parcells would say, you are what your record is, but we cannot go out there. This is a perfect opportunity for the Steelers to lose a game against a, people are going to say, sub-500 team. But again, our Steelers are not the greatest team in the world either, okay? We can't get caught up in that madness. We are not the best football team right now. We are barely 7-5, and we've been piecing these wins together, and our defense has been holding us down. Now, do I think our defense can hold the Cardinals to under 20 points? I do. Just judging on how they've played everyone else. I definitely believe that. I think Cleveland's offense at the moment is more potent than the Cardinals' offense. So they don't scare me. But we're going to have to be careful with these guys. You know, these are just the games that are prime for losing, you know, on the road and things like that. So we shall see. But other than that, man, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. Yeah, Luis and thank you, man, for, you know, bringing up that point about Minkah Fitzpatrick. I think he definitely affected that. And allowed Joe Hayden to get that pick. Michael T-Well is saying Jordan Hicks, their LB, has over 100 tackles also. That's what I'm saying. You know, they don't got scrubs on that team. They just got a bad record. So we got to be careful there. But we'll talk a little more about that on the pregame show, as I'm able to look at some of their stats, see where they're good at and things like that, and try to look at a few plays, from I'm not going to look at the game from the Rams, obviously, because they got their butts kicked. But I'll try to find a game where they won and see kind of what they do well and where I think, maybe they could stress us. And like I said, like Kegel's Bagel said, if I get the opportunity, maybe I will show those plays as well. But outside of that, man, let me go ahead and get out of here, guys. And don't forget, if you haven't already, do what you see right here. Make sure you subscribe, man. Subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button. I definitely need you to do that. Helps me out greatly. Cut on your notifications as well. If you are subscribed or once you subscribe, ring that bell so you know when the content is available for you. And again, I got to always remind you, man, hit the like button. Please do that. Hit that like button. It helps me more than you guys can imagine. And of course, if you would like to donate to the cause, like some did here on YouTube, if you prefer that method, during the stream, there's a $sign in the bottom of the chat window. Click the chat window, click the $sign, and go ahead and put in your information. To my knowledge, I'm going to be honest with you. I say to my knowledge because I don't own YouTube. It is secure. So you can ask other people who've done it. I assume it's secure. YouTube is backing you there. If you prefer your own security, Cash App, PayPal, both of those options are available. All you have to do is go under the description. It's right at the top. My information for both is right there. All right, and like I always say, I thank you in advance. But other than that, guys, I hope everyone has a great night, a great week. Watch some football on Thursday. Watch some big football on Saturday with the college teams. And it's almost time for us to start scouting those guys. And one of you guys caught on to who we were talking about. I saw y'all talking about it in the chat there. Yes, Michael Pittman Jr. That is the guy we were talking about the other day. Looks like a Steeler, don't it? So we throwing it out there early, but we'll talk about that a little later. But outside of that, man, you guys have a great week. Be safe. God bless. And like always, thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.